everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now recently I've been hearing a lot about a particular robot vacuum, that is the Roborock S8 Pro Ultra. A lot of people are saying that it is actually quite good and it's actually able to do everything on its own. Now when I heard that, I thought that it would be the perfect idea to cover it because here in the studio, I really like to clean stuff myself. So I actually managed to get my hands on one of these Roborock S8 Pro Ultras, and just by the name itself, S8 Pro Ultra, you can already tell that this is actually like quite premium in a lineup of robot vacuums already available by Roborock. Alright, so let's rewind today's video back to a couple of days ago where I was actually unboxing the device. So actually what came in the box was actually just a couple of things. There wasn't a lot of components in the box itself. You have mainly the RockDock Ultra, which is the dock itself. You have the robot vacuum and a couple more accessories to help you with setting up the robot itself. Now setting up the device is actually super simple. There is actually an app that you can download on either your iPhone or your Android phone, and you can actually get started really quick. So once you get it plugged into the power outlet, you launch the app and it will actually detect the robot and everything gets connected with just a tap of a button. So it's a super easy, about 5 minutes to complete the setup process. Right now, let's talk a bit about this particular device. Why is it so cool? And for that, we have to start off with the dock itself. Now, Roborock is calling this the RockDock Ultra, and that's because it is able to do a couple of things on its own. So we have 4 main things here that this guy can do. Number one, it is actually able to clean the mopping pads of your robot vacuum on its own. So it does that. Secondly, it actually dries the mopping pads as well using its hot air drying system. It's a new one, by the way, and it actually allows the mopping pads to dry off very efficiently. Not only that, there is no smell left, and it actually helps to reduce the bacteria and the mold and all that. Other than that, it's also able to auto-refill the tank of water in the robot itself. So it just goes in, and more importantly, is able to remove the dust that's been vacuumed into the robot directly into the dock. So all you need to do is actually just set it up. Occasionally you have to pour in the clean water inside and even remove the dirty water, but the dock itself is doing everything from not just cleaning the mops, drying the mops, inputting the water into the tank, and as well as removing the dirt from the robot. There's 4 main things there for a totally hands-free experience. So now that we've done talking about the RockDock Ultra, I'm pointing to the back because it's actually seated right at the back. Let's take a look at the robot itself. Like I said, I've got it right here, and there's actually 3 components of cool tech that's making this robot so good. Now let's start off with the first one here, and that is actually the DuoRoller Riser. Now this is actually, a multi-directional floating brush that you can see at the bottom of the robot itself. If you do happen to buy this robot, flip it to the bottom so you can see it. And what these rollers do is that they rotate to remove or actually reduce the amount of tangling of hairs in the wheels itself. So I think this is very important because every now and then you might not realize, but you might be dropping some hair, or maybe you live with someone who drops a lot of hair on the ground, and sometimes the robot actually struggles. Other robots struggle with the hair tangles and all that with their roller. So with this DuoRoller Riser, it's actually able to reduce all those hair tangles and it's able to vacuum up your place very efficiently. So I think that's great about these particular risers. Now other than that, the vacuum itself, there's a better suction power here, and Roborock is calling this the Hyperforce 6000 PA vacuum suction. So it's actually a very strong suction power by this robot, and if you combine the rollers itself together with the suction power, effectively you are going to be able to clean up a lot of kind of dirt that's not only on the ground but also on your carpet. So just the other day, I spilled a couple of oats and stuff onto the carpet itself just to see how efficiently or effectively the robot can actually clean that up, and rest assured it was actually able to suck up everything really well. So that's what I noticed about the rollers here combined together with the strong suction power. Alright, so other than that, you might be wondering about the mopping side of things, and if you just move the robot to the side, you will see here that you have the VibraRise 2.0 label that is actually about this mopping system. Now this mopping system has been improved because there's 2 times the vibration modules at the bottom here, and that effectively increases the space of the vibration area. So basically, it will mean that you can clean an even wider surface area, and it allows for a more efficient cleaning of your spills on the ground, or maybe if you're just mopping the floor and all that, it will do it a little bit better. Now other than that, the VibraRise 2.0 is also even stronger at scrubbing your grounds. So like I mentioned just now, if you spill something on the ground, say for example like your Coca-Cola or anything like that, and sometimes it might leave the floor a bit sticky. So this is where the robot itself will be able to vibrate and scrub a little bit more. It also applies a bit more pressure onto it, 6N if I'm not mistaken, and it's actually able to scrub and clean your ground so that it does not become sticky after cleaning up the mess. So that's great for this particular VibraRise 2.0. It is also able to lift itself up automatically when it goes over your carpets so that it will not make your carpet wet. And I think this is actually a very smart robot because I have a couple of carpets in the house, not just one. I have 2 carpets here, and sometimes it's just mopping the ground. I don't need it to vacuum, and I noticed that it was always lifting the mop up on its own when it goes across the carpet. So that's great there. This 3 combo makes it great at not just cleaning up your dirt, your dust, your hair, but also on mopping and cleaning up spills. Alright, so other than that, what else do we have here? Just in case you are wondering about how it moves around the house. I know some of you have a lot of obstacles or just stuff or maybe slippers on the ground. So for me, because this is a studio, you see that we have like chairs on the ground, light stands, cameras and all that. And I noticed that the robot, with its precise tracking, LiDAR tracking and all that, it was actually able to avoid like knocking into my stuff, especially my camera stands, because I do have cameras standing on it. So it was just avoiding it on its own. Occasionally it might bump into a couple of stuff, but it bumps into it very lightly and then it reverses and it moves away from that subject. So I think it's great here just in terms of the tracking and all that. Now just in case you want a bit more hands-on control with where your robot goes, well obviously again, like I said, you can go back to the Roborock app, and this is where you can set like your no-go zones, like zones to clean, specific spaces that you want to clean, your suction power, mopping power. You can actually customize a lot of things, and the Roborock app has already been around for a very long time, so it's a very mature app. Everything runs seamlessly, and if I can say like one of the better apps for robots these days, I think it's actually made by Roborock. You can download it for free and actually check it out yourself, see how the interface looks like and all that. It's actually a pretty good app. Alright, so last but not least, in terms of the charging and all that, there's also a new feature here. I'm not sure if it's new to other robots or not, but to this particular model, it actually has this smart charging. So it actually helps to reduce the amount of power that's being used by your house, effectively having you to save a bit of electricity by only charging it at times where it should be charged. So I think for the Roborock S8 Pro Ultra, it's a great package here for a totally hands-free cleaning experience. You have the RockDock Ultra paired together with the robot itself that does this cleaning and all that. Well, anyways, so far everything has been pretty good. If you actually do have any further questions, I invite you to actually drop a comment down below to ask me a bit of things. I'm still using the robot, by the way, so I'm actually learning more about it as we go. So if you do happen to have any questions, I can actually try and help you test it out and report back to you. Now with that said, thank you for watching today's video all the way to the end, and don't forget to drop a like and sub to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Do stay safe and take care. Bye!